I've interviewed 5,000 startups and 5,000 businesses over the last 6 years. I've done strategy sessions with just literally thousands and thousands of companies. You hear the same stories, you start to map it out, you draw some conclusions, you get some insights. I've spoken to over 50,000 people at different events. So you start to kind of hear what's going on. And then I went and checked in the data, and I found the data confirmed my hunches, and I'll sort of share with you what I saw. So 2014, it's actually more like 5.4 million UK businesses, but we'll use the 2014 data because it's the most accurate. In the UK, there are 5.25 million businesses. 4 million of them don't employ anyone. So they're just the founders, just the partners in the business. So the vast majority of companies are non-employer businesses. What's also interesting is that I think of a big company as a company that has thousands of employees, but actually in the UK, a big company's only got 250 or more employees. There are only 7,000 businesses that have more than 250 employees in all of the UK. And those 7,000 companies make 53% of all the revenue in the economy. So they do half the business that is there to be done. We've got little micro businesses that have got a couple of employees. When we get to 10 employees, there's only 200,000 businesses left. When we get to 50 employees, there's only 30,000 businesses left. Now, here's what I discovered when I started looking and talking to a lot of entrepreneurs. I decided to map out the journey as I could see it from talking to different people. And here's the different phases of business. The first phase is startup. This is where you have an idea. 750 people go and start a business in the UK every single day. So we're a very startup-friendly nation. It's very cheap to start a business. About 750 people a day start a business. These people are full of hopes, dreams, anticipation, excitement. They know that once that business gets going and once it's started, they'll have more money, more time, and a lot less stress. 75% of those businesses immediately end up in what we call the wilderness, the non-employer businesses. This is where your business is trying to do all things. You're doing a bit of accounting, you're doing a bit of sales, you're going out networking, you're trying to do the technical work, you're trying to create a vision for the future, you're trying to keep on top of all the trends, all of that sort of stuff. It's too much for one person to handle, and the work that you do ends up commoditizing, and it gets harder and harder over time. You end up like little Bear Grylls running around in the wilderness, trying to keep your head above water, looking for your berries, looking for your little fish every single day, not thinking more than a few weeks in advance, and you end up feeling like you're in survival mode. When you're in survival mode, if someone says, hey, I can help you, your immediate instinct is to say, you're just trying to take my little berries. I worked hard for my 100 berries. You're not allowed to have any of my berries. So it's very difficult to even help wilderness businesses because they're so in survival mode. When we get out of survival mode is where we build a small team, a team of 3 to 12 people we call a boutique. Now, everyone asks me, what is the best productivity hack? What's the best app, the best software, the best book to read, the best system to put in your business? And I sit there and I say, actually, the best productivity hack hasn't really changed since 1850, which is to get people collaborating, get a small team together and form a team. So the research says that these businesses, on average, earn £55,000 per person. And as soon as you've got 3 to 12 people, that jumps up to £90,000 per person. So almost double productivity just by having a small team. So if you imagine that you get 3 IT consultants working in isolation, they each make 55,000. If you put them together under one brand and make one little team together, on average, they'll each make 90,000. Right? It's an amazing productivity hack to form a little team. So as soon as you form a little boutique, your productivity will often double. There's 2 types of boutique. Struggling boutique, which is geographically bound and has low revenue per employee. So if you take all the employees, 10 people, £700,000 revenue, £70,000 revenue per employee, and that'll be a struggling boutique. And then we have the global small businesses, the global little boutiques, and these are lifestyle businesses. And these have high revenue per employee, higher than £90,000 revenue per employee. They have 3 to 12 people, and they are having a great time. If ever I sit down and interview an entrepreneur who says, I love my life, and I go, why do you love your life? I take holidays when I want to take holidays. I drive a nice car. My kids are in nice schools. My house is nice. I give some money to charity. Everything's lovely. I'm really happy with my life. I say, do you have between 3 and 12 staff? Yes. Do you do more than £90,000 revenue per employee? Yes. How did you know? And because I just hear the same story over and over and over again. This is the lifestyle boutique. This is a great little business because the owner can go on a holiday, they can innovate, they can get their head above the noise, all of that sort of stuff. We want to build a lifestyle boutique. Then you ruin it. So you destroy the lifestyle boutique. You have this lovely little lifestyle boutique. It's a day at the beach, no rules, just fun, keep the ball in the air, look after the clients, look after the customers. You roughly, you stay over there and do that sales thing. I'll stay over here and do that operations thing. That's all the communication we need. 3 people's great, 4's great, 5's, 10's great, 11's great, 12's great. And then all of a sudden we go and hire the 13th person, and that is not great. So 13 people ruins the whole business. And here's why. 12 people fits around one table and feels like one little team. Once you hit 13, you start splitting the meetings into a sales meeting, ops meeting, and admin meeting. Now your whole week is full of meetings. Now there's little politicking going on. As the team expands, there's a bit of weirdness going on. As you get up to higher and higher, the culture shifts. What happens at about 25 is you have 2 teams. You have what's called the lifestyle team, who remember the good old days and remember when there was no rules. You never had to book an appointment through a PA. You didn't have organisational theory. You didn't have a HR policy, all of this stuff, and that's the lifestyle team. They want to go back to the good old days. And then you've got the performance team. They're the most recent 10 who came on board. They were told this company is going to grow, it's going to be big, it's going to change, it's going to develop, it's going to take on the world. We're going to have a float one day and an exit, and it's all going to be valuable. And you've got massive fighting between these 2 teams because one team wants to go up and become professional, one team wants to go back to the good old days and become more casual. And then the worst thing happens, someone on this team starts sleeping with someone on this team. No one's meant to know, but everyone knows. So then all hell breaks loose. If you can push forward and get to 50 people for a services company, 35 for a pure tech company, then you enter into what's called performance mode. Performance you do what's called crossing the desert. So crossing the desert is that scaling phase, too big to be small, too small to be big, trying to get to the other side. And then once we cross, we end up with 2 styles of business. One is called the factory, which has lots and lots of people but low revenue per employee. And then the other one is called the performance business, and it kind of runs like a Formula 1 team. You got lots of corporate relationships, you're selling to big contracts now. The business is unrecognizable from when it was a lifestyle business. It's all about high performance, shaving off milliseconds off the lap times. Everyone knows their role and their place. This person doesn't accidentally end up over there doing that wheel. They always know that they're the back right-hand wheel person. So you've got this really great business, lots of money, high revenue per employee. So you've got this cool performance team going on. Final one is worth knowing, which is the unicorn. Unicorns are businesses that go from 0 to billions in valuation very, very quickly. And there's not a lot you can learn about unicorns. Everyone loves to read about them in the magazines. They look exactly like performance businesses, but they have the right time, the right place, the right team, all coming together like a perfect storm. And one critical ingredient is very, 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 very deep pockets. So they're almost always, when you discover what really went on behind the little cool startup story, there was Goldman Sachs or someone like that. So unicorns are very, very well funded. The other thing you should know about unicorns, they typically have a revenue per employee of £180,000 and above. So they've got really high revenue per employee. If you enjoyed that video, click subscribe. We upload regular content and case studies to help you become a key person of influence in your industry.